The moment the handcuffs close, a question is born. Not spoken aloud, not even fully formed, but present. Who am I now? A young Chinese girl, once certain of her place in the world, is suddenly placed into a position where everything is uncertain. The arrest is quick, almost mechanical. There is no space for explanation, no pause for emotion. Only action. And within that action, identity begins to fracture. At first, she rejects it. She tells herself this is temporary. A mistake. Something that will be corrected. But as she moves deeper into the system, that certainty weakens. Because the world around her begins to treat her differently, and over time, that treatment starts to influence how she sees herself. In prison, identity is not something you express freely. It is something you protect, hide, or even reshape. She learns quickly that being open is dangerous. That being predictable is risky. That survival requires control, not just of actions, but of emotions. So she builds a version of herself that fits the environment. Calm, careful, distant. But beneath that version, the question remains. Who is she, really? The longer she stays, the harder it becomes to answer. And when she is finally released, the question does not disappear. It grows. Because outside, people respond not to who she feels she is, but to what they believe she has become. She exists between two identities. The one she remembers. And the one the world insists on seeing. Her final struggle is not against the system, but within herself. To decide which version will define her future. Version 3: Quiet rebellion, subtle strength. Not all resistance is loud. Sometimes, it begins in silence. A young Chinese girl stands in handcuffs, surrounded by authority, yet saying nothing. Not because she has nothing to say, but because she understands something early on. This is not a moment she can control. So she chooses something else. How she responds to it. As she is taken into custody and later prison, she does not break outwardly. She does not protest endlessly or collapse under pressure. Instead, she observes. Learns. Waits. Inside, the system is rigid, but not perfect. It depends on patterns, expectations, and roles. And she begins to understand those structures, not to submit to them, but to move within them. Her strength is not visible. It is quiet. She chooses when to speak, when to remain unnoticed, when to adapt, and when not to. Over time, others underestimate her. And that becomes her advantage. The handcuffs that once defined her begin to lose their power, not physically, but symbolically. Because she no longer sees herself through them. When she is released, the world expects a broken version of her. But what returns is something different. Not louder. Not more aggressive. But more aware. She does not try to convince everyone. She does not chase validation. Her rebellion is subtle. She lives. She rebuilds. She exists beyond what was expected of her. And in doing so, she proves something quietly powerful. That even when a system tries to define you, you can still decide how much of that definition you accept.